We feel we can be doing the same thing with video in terms of making custom content for advertisers, but just as that Dell piece of content was very well highlighted, that it's a piece of advertorial content or native advertising content, we would be doing the same thing for video. So when we look at how that video is produced, it's through our lens. Our editorial team cannot make that content, just as our writers and journalists don't write the Dell content, but we know how to make it so it fits in the tone and voice of everything else that we do, so it makes sense. I think that there'll be, we'll have branded, kind of what's always referred to as branded experience, where a brand could be sponsoring one of our bigger editorial offerings. So for example, DealBook or Bits, 36 Hours, Corner Office, like those are much bigger experiences that can have a video and a text component that can be brought to you by a single advertiser. That's our editorial content, and we will always keep that close and we'll produce that content, and the advertiser can only have so much interaction with it. And then there's a second type, which is what we're calling marketers content. Marketers content is when we're working very closely with the advertiser. We're allowing them to have input into what we're producing to a certain extent. We won't let them get close to some of our franchises like I just mentioned, but we can create new offerings for them that feel aligned with everything else that we're doing. One exciting thing that we're launching at the end of April with the redesign of our Video Hub is going to be a branded playlist that can be populated by an advertiser's content. So that's a great place to find that. So if it's, for example, let's say it's KitchenAid and it's their own content, we can put that on our food section as its own branded playlist. And like I said, they can populate that. We can make content for them. So I think that's a super exciting way. I think on that, when you're talking about syndication, the idea is that it's syndicated with all the rest of our content. I don't think it'll be a separate offering. I think it'll be mixed in with everything else that we offer. One of the things that we've just recently launched is called Reporter's Notebook, and that's allowing our journalists to be out in the field and shooting with their iPhones. We've licensed a program that allows them to shoot and edit and voice over on their piece of content and send it directly to us. So we're really looking forward to getting more of our journalists on board with that. Right now, currently, we have 100 of our journalists that are trained in how to use it. We work with them very closely to teach them the best ways to optimize the content that they're getting, and most importantly, for people who are way out in the field and don't have access to our video team to come and support them, we want them to be able to get things in real time. So I think that's something that's very, something we're really pushing forward, and we'll see more of that to come. You'll see about 10 of those a month right now being launched on the site, and it's Reporter's Notebook. And then in terms of just in general, what I'm taking away from where journalism is going, the younger journalists that are going to J-School, they're all learning multimedia in school. And the older journalists didn't quite go through that as it is now. So these younger journalists are coming out very aware of social media, very aware of multimedia. They're already shooting on their phones. So there's there's this next generation that's coming up where I think we'll see as they start to take over, more and more journalists being open to that kind of experience of telling a story.